I'm Charlotte with Freezer Meals 101. I am so excited to show you guys over the next couple of days the freezer meals we're going to make and how you can do this at home, and it's so much simpler than you might think. Tomorrow, Christy is going to be coming over and we are going to start assembling, but there's a few things that I'm going to get started today. So I'm just going to start all the videos, show you step by step how to do all of these recipes. We're doing somewhere between 120 and 130 meals. And tomorrow when Christy comes over and we do most of them, I will have her introduce herself to you guys or say hi again. And we will show you everything. We're also going to be giving you lots of tips on how to save time and money when you're making freezer meals. So hopefully those will help you on your own endeavors to fill your freezer. Let's get started. I did something totally different this time for prepping this sausage. I am cooking it on high in my crock pot. I got this tip from my friend Jameril at Large Family Table. This is how she often cooks her sausage. And so we're gonna see if it browns quicker. I've got 8 packs of sausage in there. So I have actually another 16 packs to go. So 3 of these and we will be done browning all the sausage. So I said that there was a few meals that I'm gonna get started before Christy gets here. She's been doing prep at her place, so she's diced all the onions, minced all the onions, they're already here. Her son helped her shred the cheese, so the cheese is all shredded, and she cooked all the rice. There's lots of prep going on at both houses, but the reason I wanted to start with a few recipes is one, to make some room in the freezer, because sometimes they use freezer ingredients, but also because there's certain things I'm a little worried won't last until tomorrow, like these buns, because when my kids see these nice buns, they're gonna be tempted to make themselves sandwiches, and I can't police that all the time, so we might end up with packages with less than a dozen buns in them. So to prevent that from happening and to lower my stress level, I'm just doing this recipe right now. So it is a ham and cheese sliders, perfect for camping. You can take it with you when you go camping, or if you have a backyard fire and you want to just heat these up and have everybody pull their own sandwich. Really great for a group of teens, like if you're hosting youth group at your house or something. So we've made something similar before and wrapped them individually in foil. These ones are going to be baked in these foil pans, and that can just go straight in the oven. So I'm making a sauce for that, and then I'm gonna slice the buns and put the ham and cheese. It's usually Swiss, but my kids are not big fans of Swiss, so we're gonna use marble today. And for the sauce, I'm going to be doing, so I'm quadrupling, keep in mind, because we're doing 4 meals of this, so I'm quadrupling it. So I've melted 2 cups of butter here, so half a cup per recipe, and then I'm gonna add a tablespoon mayo, 4 tablespoons mayo, 4 tablespoons Dijon mustard, 2 tablespoons Worcestershire. Sorry about that. Okay, 4 tablespoons honey, probably 2 tablespoons-ish of this 3-onion dried onion powder, and then we're gonna do 4 tablespoons of poppy seeds. So we're gonna mix that all up to pour on top of these buns, and when we put it in the oven, it's gonna be melted deliciousness, and you can just pull them apart easily. Yum. The chili is something that I decided to get out of the way quickly, even before Christy gets here, because when I was doing the prep, I realized that I only had 1 recipe that needed Mexican veggie beef. So I browned it and separated it into 2 bags for our family, and then when I was separating the beef and putting it in a container, I just put enough for the 2 chilies in bags for Christy. This way I don't need a container in the fridge for the Mexican veggie beef, and I can get this recipe out of the way and not have to deal with that protein again. And it's a really easy chili, but it does have a lot of ingredients. It's very good, tasty, but it has a lot of ingredients. So I'm not gonna list them all off. I will put a link to the full recipe in the description below, but the key to good chili, I've been told by my mother-in-law, is lots of onions. So there's lots of onions and lots of good seasonings. And we also add a little secret ingredient, and that is a bit of either maple syrup or honey, whatever I have on hand. So I think today it's going to be maple syrup. So once that's done, we will again squish those ingredients, take out the air, put a label on it, and get that in the freezer. And we are off to a great start. As you can see, this recipe uses a lot of cans. So once again, I'm very grateful for my electric can opener. So here's a little trick. When we cook the bacon on the baking sheet and we twirl it, and that way it takes up less space and we can fit a lot on there. But when you take it out, you put an oven mitt underneath so that your grease all drains into one corner. That way it doesn't make everything else greasy like up here, and it's easier to clean up. And then the other thing is I'm gonna cut this with kitchen scissors because I'm prepping for those freezer meals. And then I'm going to use some paper towel and I'm gonna line my freezer bag with that, or my container with that, so that when I put it in there, it'll absorb some of the grease and just make it easier for when we're prepping those meals. So we've got our bacon all cut up in the bag, so that's 2.5 packs of bacon. Once it's cut up, it doesn't look like as much as it actually is, but that's going to be enough for us to do 3 recipes, which is going to be 12 meals. But the bacon isn't the only protein in those recipes. So I'm just going to throw this other paper towel on top to get even more of the grease out and pop that in the fridge for the freezer meals.
Hi, I'm Christy. We've met before, but I'm back. I'm here to help Charla with our freezer meals for the weekend. I brought my favorite mug because coffee is really important to me. I made this mug. You need to know that. I'm gonna start on beef hash, and the reason why is because Charla already has the bags of hash browns in her freezer. We need to get them out of the way and get the meat in them and get those prepared so we can make more room and get them back in the freezer so that they can stay and freeze. I'm gonna make beef hash!
The beef hash is a nice kid-friendly one, easy to put together. You do half a large bag of hash browns in each bag, some ground beef, onion, dry onion soup mix, beef broth, a little bit of pepper, and then you're gonna put some shredded cheese in a medium-sized bag, and you'll staple that to the outside of your large bag. That way, on the day of cooking, you will top it with the cheese and you'll have everything you need for this really easy meal. For this next meal, we're doing Kang Pao Chicken. We actually were not originally going to do this. It was not on the list. But when I was at the grocery store, I could not find the tortillas that we needed to make the black bean and corn enchiladas. And they're really not as good unless you use the right kind of tortillas. So I was passing one of the aisles and I saw the Kang Pao sauce, or the General Tso's sauce, which works just as well, and realized, okay, we could use the red pepper that I already got for the black bean and corn enchiladas, and we could just scrap that recipe and add this recipe. So I got the things I needed for it, and just kind of on the fly, we added this and took out the others. So we've got our cubed raw chicken in each of the bags. We're gonna add 1 jar each of the Kang Pao sauce, or the General Tso's. The Kang Pao sauce, the best one that you can get is at Walmart. I didn't want to have to make an extra stop, so I just got this. Anyway, and then we're gonna add a can of water chestnuts, and I've already gone ahead and drained those. we're going to do some green onion, red pepper, and green pepper, and that's actually it. And then we will just take out the excess air from the bag, seal it really well, stick a label on it, and freeze it. You can grab the full recipe in the description box below.
I'm gonna make sloppy joes. They're always great to have because they're easy, they're kid-friendly, they're quick, and who doesn't like sloppy joes, really? And I can't make them without singing the Adam Sandler song about sloppy joes. It's got ground beef, onions, garlic, cloves that are minced, green pepper, salt and pepper, mustard powder, chili sauce, tomato sauce, ketchup, brown sugar, Worcester sauce, and lemon juice. Worcestershire. All those things go into a sloppy joe, which is pretty impressive considering that they seem to be such a simple recipe. But it's nice to have these made ahead, and they're really delicious. And for the day of serving, you'll need buns.
So I wanted to quickly get the beef curry out of the way. When I was slicing the red and yellow peppers, I knew that this was the only recipe that we were using sliced peppers for. We're using lots of diced peppers, but only this recipe for sliced peppers. So I decided that I would go ahead and just cut them right into the bags because that would save time later. So I've already got the peppers in there, and I'm just gonna add the beef strips. I bought the beef strips pre-sliced, which saves time. Of course, you can save a bit of money if you slice them yourself, but I was all about efficiency and time this time. And we're gonna add some chopped onion, a can each, a 28-ounce can each of diced tomatoes, some curry paste. Again, I'm gonna add mild curry paste into Christy's families and the spicy curry paste into our families, and then some heavy cream. The recipe actually calls for sugar, so I'll add that into Christy's families, but my husband's doing keto, and this recipe is actually keto as long as, oh no, it's not, because the tomatoes aren't keto. Never mind, I will just follow the recipe for all of them. So I always do Christy's recipes on the right and mine on the left. That way I can remember which ones go in the freezer at my house and which ones go in the cooler on the front step that she takes home with her. And I don't mix up like our spicy for her mild or my veggie beef for her actual beef and all those kinds of differences, or like accidentally take something that has celery or broccoli in it, which I'm allergic to. So there's all kinds of reasons that we have a system, and this works for us, which is that we always have the meals on a certain side that go to each family. So we'll give that a squish, take the air out of the bag, seal them, and we will have another 4 meals done. Okay, chicken taco soup. This one has a lot of cans. So again, I'm super thankful for the electric can opener. We are gonna do some chopped onions. Let me grab the recipe. And some chili style beans, black beans that are drained and rinsed, some kernel corn that's drained, a can of tomato sauce, a can of beer. I only had bottles. My husband's doing keto, so he's not using his beer right now. So I took his bottles of Dos Equis. Hopefully that's fine, I'm sure it is. And then 14-ounce can of diced tomatoes. So I'm gonna do like half a 28-ounce can in each bag because I only have 28-ounce cans. And then a can of diced chilies, 2 teaspoons taco seasoning, of course our boneless, skinless chicken breasts. This is a really great soup to do in the crock pot in the summer. And yeah, here we go.
So what I made here was the red sauce. If you've never made a red sauce, you should look one up because it will absolutely change everything that you make that requires any sort of tomato base. because it's got the crushed or the diced tomatoes, the tomato sauce, the tomato paste, a little bit of sugar, a little bit of salt, and some spices. It's already such a fantastic medley. The first time I had the spaghetti sauce that had this, it just took it to a whole new level, because before I would have just, thrown a thing of tomatoes in there. To have a proper red sauce as the base of your tomato dishes, you will just elevate it. There's way more flavor profile, lots of layers of flavor. You can't even put your finger on it. It's just really delicious. So look up a red sauce and see if there's ways that you can incorporate it into your meals. It was a game changer for me.
So the next thing we're gonna make is our spaghetti sauce, and that red sauce that Christy made has great depth of flavor and just so good. So we're using that, and I've got veggie beef in mine, and in Christy's I would normally have regular beef, ground beef, but I ran out. So we are just going to make them vegetable or vegetarian, I guess, and I guess both sets will technically be vegetarian, but anyway, Christy's will not have meat. However, we're making Italian meatballs in one of our other freezer meals, so she can do spaghetti sauce, kind of like a marinara-ish vegetable-y sauce, and top it with the meatballs. So there you go. I'm adding the red sauce, onions, garlic, and green pepper, a little bit of extra basil and Italian seasoning, and that's it. So this cilantro lime chicken is a super colorful recipe, and I think colorful equals healthy, so it's a gooder. I put the chicken breasts in the bag, and then one of my daughters cut up the cilantro and she just added them to the bags as we went. The rest of the ingredients are purple onions, olive oil, lime juice, garlic, black beans that are rinsed and drained, kernel corn that's drained, chipotle spice, and salt and pepper. Here we go. Look how pretty that is. Look at all the colors. Isn't that gorgeous? The Spanish rice also uses that red sauce. So you've got your red sauce, your cooked ground beef, your cooked rice. You can use white rice, brown rice, whatever rice you've got. This is what we had on hand. You use onion, garlic, green pepper, sliced black olives, and then you're going to do bags of cheddar cheese in the medium-sized bag. Staple those onto here, so that's what you'll top it with on the day of cooking. Everything in here pretty much is cooked already, so it's an easy one to heat up. And we always make 6 bags of it because that just works out best for the math. And it's another really nice one that we've been making for years and years. This honey sesame chicken is like the easiest recipe ever. Maybe second easiest recipe ever after easy chicken. But it is delicious. It makes a really great rice bowl type of thing or wrap. So really good for dinners or for lunches. It is from Candy at Make Ahead Meal Mom. She has a great website, so you should probably check that out. And she is also one of the moderators in our Freezer Meal group, Freezer Meals 101 group on Facebook. And she has just really good recipes. So this is one of her recipes. And so all we've got in there is 3 chicken breasts in each bag, and boneless, skinless, of course. And then I am adding 1 bottle of Asian toasted sesame dressing into each bag. some honey. And when you serve it, you're gonna cook that up and then shred it and top it with some sesame seeds and sliced green onions. And seriously, that's how easy that is. And then another 4 meals are done. This was actually a last minute addition to our freezer meal list, so I forgot to ask Christy to make labels for these. So anyway, I'm just going to label them here with a permanent marker. He is working very hard on those meatballs over there. That is a lot of meatballs.
That is gonna be a lot of meatballs. This is like 3 days worth of meatballs. It's all good.
Okay, I am doing this egg roll in a bowl. Full disclosure, this is our first time making this recipe. I think it's gonna be good, but the actual recipe, we always tweak things to make them freezer friendly or just for our tastes. So the actual recipe was for ground beef, but Christy and I both agree that really with egg roll flavors, pork is really what it needs to be. So we're gonna use ground Italian sausage that's cooked. And then we've got some minced onion, bags of coleslaw, some shredded carrots, onion powder, some garlic, red pepper flakes, ginger, and then some soy sauce, sesame oil, and vegetable oil. So I will get these going. I think these are gonna be delicious and a nice little change. So to get a better view on the video, I've been doing front and back rather than side, and so I'm putting Christy's at the back and mine at the front. Mine has the spicy Italian sausage and hers has the mild, and that's how I'm keeping track.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yes.
Mine's not spicy. Mine's not Italian at all. Mine's bratwurst because they didn't have Italian.
Really?
Yep.
What the heck is bratwurst?
It's German.
Okay.
It's just German sausage.
Well, it's going in egg roll in a bowl.
Yeah, it'll be great.
So
I don't think it'll be any weirder than using Italian sausage in the Chinese dish.
That's a good point.
Okay, I'm gonna make some meatballs. I'm gonna make Italian meatballs. This is the first time we've done this because we don't make meatballs very much when we do freezer meals. If we do, sometimes we buy the pre-made meatballs. So this is gonna have a mix of pork and beef.
And it's keto.
And they are keto friendly. It's got whipping cream, which I think everything, if it's keto, has whipping cream in it. How nice of them. And it's got eggs and spices and good stuff. We're gonna make about 1 million meatballs here, so bear with me. Hopefully we can speed this part up, so otherwise you're gonna listen to me talk while I'm making all these meatballs. And then we're not gonna cook them. We're gonna freeze them on a sheet and then put them in the bags and then cook them on the day of, which is, if I have done freezer meal meatballs in the past, I've always cooked them in the oven for 25 minutes first to get them just cooked, right? And then I freeze them and then, you know, put them in the oven or in a slow cooker on the day of. So this will be a new way of doing it for me. Enjoy my meatball video.
We're just gonna make a really simple pasta sauce using Italian sausage and some spicy red pepper tomatoes, canned tomatoes, some tomato sauce, garlic, onions, and this is gonna be, it's a little bit of a heavier sauce, but on the day you cook it, it's actually very fresh tasting because you're gonna add some fresh basil and some bonconcini cheese and really lighten things up. So we're also gonna add some salt, pepper, and red pepper flakes. So yeah, this is gonna be a good one. This recipe could not be any easier. It's chicken shawarma, and we've just cubed some boneless, skinless chicken breasts. They're already in the bag, so we're gonna add some olive oil and our shawarma seasoning. So it is going to be super simple, and then on the day you serve it, serve it with some tabbouleh salad and hummus and all kinds of other goodness on top of pita and roll it up. You can also put in some dill pickles. That kind of just finishes it off nicely. Anyway, this is a really good one, guys, but it can't be any easier than this. Okay, so I am really excited about this next recipe. It is new to us, but the reason I'm excited about it is because Jennie is one of the ladies in our Freezer Meals 101 group on Facebook, and it's a recipe that she suggested. So just following her recipe, and it sounds like it's going to be really good. It's like a chicken and wild rice casserole, and a lot of the things in it are already cooked. So when you go to make this, you just put it in the oven, and then near the end of cooking, you top it with like those, you know, those French's fried onion things. So I think it's gonna be pretty amazing. So I'm just going to, okay, let me grab the recipe here. It's like wild rice. So we've already cooked that. So we cooked a couple of bags of wild rice, and then it's cooked cube chicken. So we have that all prepped, and then 1 can of cream of chicken soup in each one. Some green beans, actually a lot of green beans, some mayo and chopped onion. So we're gonna mix that all together, and then when you bake it, you sprinkle the fried onions on top about halfway through baking. So I'm excited to give this new recipe a try. So thanks, Jennie. You know, the first time you make a recipe, you never quite know. And so making this wild chicken and rice, next time we would mix it in a bowl first and then transfer it into bags, because we just found it was really hard to mix once it was in the bag. So now we know for next time, but I'm still thinking the flavors are gonna be there and it's gonna be amazing. Now I'm gonna make the chicken asparagus bake. However, I'm making it in 2 batches. We're putting it in a bowl because it's another one of those ones, because of the cooked rice, it doesn't mix very well in the bag. So I'm making it in 2 separate sets because Christy is having broccoli in hers, and I'm allergic to broccoli. So I do asparagus in mine, she does broccoli in hers. So this first one is Christy's. We're doing cooked rice, cooked chicken, the broccoli, some mushroom soup, some cream of chicken soup, cheddar cheese, salt and pepper, and then we actually add cooked bacon to ours because that just made it a lot better. We started doing that a few years ago. So I'll do hers first, then mine, and then another 4 meals will be done. Okay, so these are the asparagus ones, and I'm actually going to put this one into these small containers. I don't know if you can see that super well, but anyway, if you saw my video on freezer meals for 1 or 2 people, that is mostly what I use for that. And so these are going to go to my dad and my mother-in-law. And because everything in there is already cooked, it'd be really easy for them to just heat them up in the microwave. And yeah, should be great.
I'm gonna make pizza buns. Okay. So I noticed because these are going on buns, we did chop our salami in half, but I'm gonna cut it in half again, or maybe even more. Just, you're gonna scoop it with a spoon and put it on the bun. It's gonna be kind of awkward to do if it's any bigger than that. So I'm gonna just give this a couple of slices. It doesn't take much. It's really calling for just a 1/4 cup in each bag, but I'm just calling that a generous handful because it's kind of hard to measure salami in a 1/4 cup, if you know what I mean. Jean. Really, on the day of, you just need your pizza buns handy. You're gonna cut them and make them open-faced, and you can take this pizza bun freezer meal and thaw it, and then scoop it by the spoonful onto the buns, and just put it on a baking sheet. And if you bake it at 350 for 15 to 20 minutes or until the cheese is bubbly, you will have really nice pizza buns.
Now we're going to make pizza casserole. This is a really kid-friendly pasta casserole that has like pizza flavors in it. So I've got 2 cups of cubed ham in each of the 4 bags. Then we're gonna add Parmesan cheese, mozza, some minced onion, green peppers that are chopped, tomato sauce, Italian seasoning, a little bit of red pepper flakes. And then we're going to put 2 cups of pasta in a medium-sized freezer bag, staple those onto the back of these larger freezer bags so that the day that we make these, we can cook up the pasta just, you know, in boiling water and then stir it in. This is one that you can make in the crock pot. Usually we do it in the crock pot. You can also do it in the microwave or I guess in the oven. So it's a very family-friendly one though.
I'm making, what am I making? Corn chowder with bacon recipe. So it's got onions, it's got frozen corn as well as cream corn in it. I'm gonna be adding evaporated milk, cream of mushroom soup, and some chicken broth, and then some crumbled bacon. And the bacon really just sets it off. It is fantastic. It's a crowd favorite. We make it just about every time we make freezer meals. We double it so that we have lots of it because we like it so much. We never get sick of it. We just love the soup so much. It's so easy. It freezes nice. It's quick to take out and get going. It's good for a crowd. Everything about it is great. So you should really try this one out.
So it is the end of our first day of freezer meals, or our first assembly day, I should say. And I just wanted to show you where we're at, a little update. So the freezer is looking really good. We've got those Italian meatballs that are freezing on the cookie sheets, and tomorrow we'll put those in bags once they're frozen. This freezer was completely empty before, so we've made a lot of headway on that one, and I will take you over and show you the other freezer. So in this freezer, it was not empty before we started, but we've got these individual meals there. I don't know if you can see that really well. Let's see, there. Got the individual meals right there for my dad and my mother-in-law. We have some more down near the bottom here, and we've got those Italian meatballs again. This one is new, and that one right there in the foil trays, those ones are new this session. Those are the ham and cheese sliders. So tomorrow we'll have to make some more room in here as we go and keep adding. And of course, Christy took half of them to her house. So we're just kind of getting things cleaned up here and looking forward to getting started again tomorrow.
It's the start of our day 2. We are here back in Charlotte's kitchen, and our feet are sore, our backs are sore, but our energy is high, our spirits are high because we just love to be together. I love this time. Last night, our texts were like, oh, I'm so tired, I'm so sore, but I had a really great day with you.
It was a great day.
It was a great day.
It was fun.
So I'm back. I brought my new mug, the girlfriend of my mug from yesterday. I also made this mug. So I had to show you, and I have a different apron today. So it's a little more pink to go with my pink shirt.
And I have no apron, and I have my warm tea, fuzzy socks, soft blankets, and cozy sweaters mug, and I did not make it. But mine has tea, hers has coffee, and that's always the way it goes.
That's the way it goes.
And we will like refill throughout the day. Yesterday we did all our ground beef, all our chicken breasts, so like the cooked cubed, and the regular boneless, skinless chicken breasts. We did all those recipes. We did all our ground beef recipes, which was kind of shocking.
Yeah.
And beef, period.
And we did all our sausage.
No.
We have more sausage today?
2 more sausage recipes today.
We have 2 more sausage recipes.
Today we are doing...
I made about 1 million meatballs yesterday.
Oh yes. There's a lot of meatballs happening. So today we have to take the meatballs that are on the trays in the freezer and put them into bags and then refreeze them. That will be fast, and we'll just do that first thing this morning. And we're doing seafood today. We've got 4 seafood recipes, 2 salmons, and
a seafood curry and garlic shrimp.
Yeah.
Yes, it's gonna be great.
And we have all of our chicken thighs recipes today. So I think that's it. So, and our pastas. So one of the pastas is gonna take a long time because it's our first time making it, but it's like stuffed shells, so we have to like cook the shells and then fill them all.
And what is in that?
We're gonna use sausage. And
that's the sausage.
Yeah, and some, well, obviously like tomatoey and cottage cheese and whatever.
Right. I had cottage cheese for breakfast. See, that's the nice part about... Oh, did we show you the snack station?
No, we did not show the snack station.
We're gonna have to show you that today.
Our snack station was really good yesterday. Today it's pretty dwindled because we ate a lot of it, and the kids were like in and out and picking at the snack station. So, which is good because then I don't have to worry about feeding them lunch. Just...
On freezer meal days, oddly enough, how ironic, they don't get fed very well because we're busy. You know, like fend for yourself. And they're all teenagers now. They can make a sandwich. They're okay.
Yeah, it's all good. But yeah, so anyway, and in this video, one of you is going to be our 1,000th subscriber.
We're almost there.
So
she's almost there.
We are almost there. So you have to help us out, please. And hit that subscribe button if you're looking for more freezer meal ideas and tips and recipes and all the things.
Anything else we have to tell them? Oh, your husband bought us lunch yesterday, as well as our snack station. Primo.
That was awesome. That was really good. So maybe doing freezer meals on the weekend isn't such a bad thing.
Yeah, we normally do it during the week, but I've got a full-time job now, like where I have to like work at an office. And so we have to do this on the weekend, and that's been really great. And the kids were around and they helped when they were around, opening cans and chopping stuff. It was good.
We used to hate doing it on the weekends because there were so many people in and out. And I mean, we did have that to some extent yesterday for sure. And today might be a little bit worse because my husband's not around as much to help with that. He's out running now and he's going to be out doing something else later. But we're going to do this. It's going to be awesome. And we did get lunch out of it yesterday and it was really good.
It was really good.
So we're going to get started.
I'm going to do the Cajun buttered grilled salmon. What it mostly is just butter with some Cajun seasoning and a bunch of other different seasonings. So there's garlic powder, Italian, smoked paprika, cayenne pepper, onion powder, and cracked black pepper, salt, and some crushed pepper flakes. When I originally made this recipe, I just found it online one day and made it. It actually calls for honey, and I forgot to put the honey in. So you grill the salmon, and then you put the spicy butter, honey butter, on top of it in the last minute of cooking, and then it drips over it on the barbecue, and it seasons it really nicely. Well, I realized after we ate it that I forgot to put the honey in altogether. So I made it again another time, and I put the honey in, and we didn't like it nearly as much. So I've modified this recipe to not include the honey, and it's very, very good. So this will be our first time doing this as a freezer meal. Basically, we're going to put the salmon in a bag, and we're going to attach a bag, a medium-sized bag with the seasoned butter in it, and then it'll go in the freezer like that, and you can assemble it all on the day of. It'll be really great. I am going to do the ginger soy salmon. This has been a perennial favorite. There'll be seasons where we kind of stop doing it because we're like, oh, we need to try something new. But man, we come back to it every time because it is always a winner. We use it at home at my house for a meal. It's really good with a mango salsa. That was Charlotte's invention. What I always like when we eat it at Charlotte's house is because Charlotte does a lot of entertaining, and well, when it's not COVID, and she sets out a big variety of food, and that's when she does her ginger soy salmon, and it goes so nicely with the rest of the food, and you can just take a little bit and you get this pop. It is such a nice recipe, and I always appreciate it when she puts it out on her big spread, and that's it.
This is another recipe of candies from Make Ahead Meal Mom, It is baked sausage and cheese rigatoni. I've never made it before, but I can tell we're gonna love it from the ingredients. We're gonna make it a little bit different than her instructions call for, but I will link her recipe in the description box below. The way we're gonna make it differently is I'm going to make the sauce instead of cooking it on the stove top, because our sausage is already cooked, and this is just the way that we do our freezer meals, is we just try to make it as efficient as possible to make more than one at a time. So I'm gonna do mix our sauce in bowl, and I'm doing 2 separate sauces because I'm doing the mild sausage in Christie's and the spicy Italian sausage in ours. So I'm just gonna get started, do the sauces, and then it's kind of a layered pasta dish. So we are going to do it in baking trays, and then it's kind of, it's not lasagna, but it's lasagna-esque because it does have like the layers of sauce, pasta, cheeses, and then more sauce, more pasta, and then it's topped with sauce and cheese. So we're gonna get started on this, and I think it's gonna be awesome. So we've talked about my spatial concepts not being the best, and this is an example because it probably would have been better to use a larger bowl. So this is gonna be a little bit hard to stir, but we'll make do here, and next time I will know to use a larger bowl. You know what? This sauce is lovely. It has whipping cream in it.
Nice.
Gorgeous.
That looks awesome.
Thank you, Candy, for sharing your recipes with us. We are super looking forward to trying this one. I'm actually making it for our family for tonight.
I'm gonna do the seafood curry pasta recipe next. This is one that Charla adapted into a freezer meal, and it is really delicious. It has flavors that don't really sound like they would go together, but they create a beautiful medley. It's got scallops and shrimp in it. It's got onion and mushrooms, sun-dried tomatoes, which are delicious in anything, a little tiny bit of curry powder, just enough to make it a curry. It's got pineapple juice, cream of mushroom soup, evaporated milk, and you serve it with penne. It is a showstopper, and it's good for any season.
When I was making the keto meals for my husband, if you're looking for keto meals, I do have a video just on keto freezer meals. When I was making that video, I made him a bunch of like individual chicken dishes. And so this was one of them, and it was so good, and I know that I love these flavors, so I know I'm gonna love it too, that I decided I would make a family size one this time. We're doing freezer meals. So this is a jalapeno popper chicken, and it is keto friendly, but it's also just darn delicious. So what we're doing is we've got chicken thighs portioned into our bags, and then we're doing cream cheese, jalapenos, cheddar cheese, and bacon. So the bacon is pre-cooked and crumbled already, and that is it. I guess I'll do some salt and pepper probably, but that's it. So yeah, here we go.
I'm gonna do garlic butter shrimp. Originally this was done with pasta. Charlotte found it online, and we have just taken it and run with it. It's great on pasta. It's great if you're making it with steak. It's great to put on skewers and serve it alongside burgers. It's really versatile. It's great to just, at our house, we just kind of sometimes eat them. It's really, really good. You can't go wrong with the garlic butter shrimp. It's pretty easy. We're gonna put the butter in the bag with the spices, and then we're gonna do a separate bag with just the shrimp in it, staple them together, and Bob's your uncle. It's a pretty fast one. The spices in this are gonna be garlic, Italian seasoning, red pepper flakes, and salt and pepper. And we also put in a little bit of olive oil and just kind of mush it around in the bag. Sometimes I will go as far as using a mixer and beat it in and like make a emulsified butter. And sometimes I don't. It really depends on how much time I'm feeling like doing that. I don't feel like putting that effort in today, so today it's just all going in the bag and we're gonna smoosh it together. Okay, enjoy.
And this recipe also happens to be keto too, so that's a bonus. We had leftover cubed chicken, so we're going to just make super easy meals with it. We rooted around in our pantries and we found a vindaloo sauce, a madras curry sauce, a butter chicken, and then 2 small butter chickens, totally different brand. And so we're gonna do the 2 smalls in one bag, the large in one bag, and the vindaloo and madras in the other bags. And that will quickly and easily be 4 more meals. My daughter's gonna help pouring those jars in.
I'm gonna make the pesto chicken and vegetable freezer meal. This one is a really great one because it's got all the vegetables in it and it's a sheet pan. You put the chicken and the vegetables and it's got a bit of seasoning and oil, and it's just, or chicken broth rather, and it is just on the sheet pan like a cookie sheet, and you put it in the oven and it is beautiful. The seasoning is great, it's colorful and delicious, and it is always a win. And the more vegetables, of course, is always better. So it goes together pretty easily. We're using boneless, skinless thighs, pesto sauce, diced zucchini, carrots, kernel corn, chicken broth, dry ranch seasoning, which if you buy the little packets, there's about 3 tablespoons in a packet. We buy it in bulk from the bulk barn, and so we just put it in that way. And Brussels sprouts, they're optional, but we have them today. We have frozen Brussels sprouts that we're gonna add right in. So this is vitamin packed, it is delicious, and it is a favorite of ours.
We have reached that time where I am inventing recipes. So we have some ground beef left, some, I don't know, carrots, peas, onions. We have lots of things left actually, but whatever. I'm gonna make soup. So I'm gonna do, we took a vote on whether we should do rice or barley, and we're doing barley. So this is gonna be like a hamburger soup. We're gonna add some diced tomato can and garlic, some bay leaves, some seasoning, and it's gonna be great. Soup is actually good for summer. People don't usually think that, but if you have a rainy day, it's great. But also, if it's a hot day and you don't wanna make your kitchen hot by turning on your oven, or even your stovetop burners can make your oven hot, you just put it in the crock pot and put it on low, or even keep warm, because everything in here is already cooked pretty much. Well, the barley's not, but you know, that'll still cook on keep low or keep warm. Oh my goodness, I'm getting tired. I'm not even making sense anymore. But this is soup. Oh my goodness. We always make inventions with whatever we have left over. So soups are really easy, some casseroles, sometimes chicken dishes, kind of depending on what we have left over. And so we're kind of at that stage. Yesterday we ended up with some leftover rice, cooked rice, and then some leftover cooked chicken. So at the end of the day yesterday, when we were putting things away, I added the rice into the bowl with the chicken. So I don't know if you can see the chicken in there, but we've got some cooked cube chicken that is at the bottom of this bowl. Actually, there's quite a bit in there. And so I'm going to make this into some chicken fried rice. I'm going to use some leftover peeled diced carrots. There we go. I don't know what I was talking about tomatoes, but I use some carrots and peas. If I have any sliced water chestnuts in my cupboards, I will add those. If I don't, then I'll just add a note to the bag to add those on the day we cook them. I'm gonna add some soy sauce, some garlic, some ginger, probably, oh, maybe not ginger. Nope, no ginger. and onions. And then we will have a really simple chicken fried rice. And because the rice and the chicken are already cooked, it'll just be easy peasy on the day we want to serve this. So I was actually able to find 2 cans of sliced water chestnuts in my pantry. Because this bowl is so full, I'm not going to add the peas or the water chestnuts to this bowl. I'm going to add them into the bag once I take this and separate it. I'm also going to add, or I'm going to make a couple of small ones in those individual containers. So freezer meals for 1 type containers, because this works really well because you can just reheat it in the microwave.
Next, I'm going to put together the chili glazed chicken dump recipe. I don't know how long ago we did this one last. It doesn't seem super familiar to me, but I think we've done it before. It's got chili powder, cumin, balsamic vinegar, a little bit of melted honey, and chicken broth. Seems pretty simple to put together, and you bake it at 350 or put it in the crock pot for 4 to 6 hours on low, or you can heat it in the skillet until it's cooked through. I think it'll make a really nice marinade for the chicken, and it sounds pretty flavorful.
Okay, this is my last invention recipe because I'm getting tired, not so much because we've run out of ingredients. But this is, we wouldn't have too much Italian sausage left over, except that we had to scrap one of our recipes because we were short on an ingredient. So we were gonna make these $1 million stuffed shells. They will now go into our next mega freezer meal session, which will be a while before we do that. So as a result, we had some leftover ground or browned already Italian sausage. So I am going to make an invention. I don't know what I'm calling it. I'm using some extra of the cooked rice, the sausage, corn, tomato or tomato sauce, not totally sure, some taco seasoning. I'm gonna put a bag of Tex-Mex shredded cheese on top, or I'm gonna staple that to the bag so we can top the casserole with that. So it's kind of gonna be like a and like onion and garlic, because you can always add onion and garlic. And we have some onion already cut left over. So it's kind of gonna be like a southwesty casserole-ish thing. It's gonna work. It's gonna taste amazing, maybe. It should be fine. Okay, come along with me on this journey. I sound so confident. It's gonna work, I think.
Come along with me on this journey.
It's a taste journey. Taste explosion.
We're gonna navigate our senses.
That's right. Okay. This lady is a rock star. She has been de-yuckifying chicken thighs for
3 hours?
Yeah. So I just wanted to give her some credit for that, because that is not a fun job.
We're in the home stretch. I needed the encouragement, actually. My shoulders are killing me, and I would like it if I could just take my head off and set it to the side, and so I could have more room for my shoulders because they're cramping up. But we're almost done. We only have like 2 or 3 recipes left.
We are on the home stretch. It's gonna be so worth it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be a Mediterranean chicken with olive oil, lemon juice, garlic, pepper, maybe some Greek seasoning, capers, and pitted Kalamata olives. I think it's gonna be a super nice fresh one for summer. Probably pair it with like a Greek salad or something. And oh, potatoes, like those lemony Greek potatoes. That would be awesome. Okay.
I'm going to do the Gingery salsa chicken. It is a really good looking, flavorful chicken. It's again with the boneless, skinless thighs. It's got a 3/4 cup of salsa, honey, orange juice, soy sauce, Dijon mustard, fresh grated ginger, and olive oil. And then for the day of cooking, you want to add a bit of cornstarch and water to thicken the sauce up. It looks like you can just bake it in the oven, but you pour the sauce off into a pot on the stove top, and that's when you put in your cornstarch and water to make it thicker. And so then you cook your chicken, And then you pour the sauce back over the chicken when you go to serve it. This looks really delicious. And I think this is the first time we're doing this one. So I'm really curious to see how it goes. Maybe you can try it out and give us some feedback. I'm gonna make lemon garlic chicken. It's got lemon and garlic and chicken. And then it has some pepper and olive oil and a little bit of parsley. I think it's gonna be fresh and easy, and it's my last meal of the day, and I'm really, really glad about that.
We are done.
We're done.
And I am shocked to tell you our total, but it's like we beat our record, but not intentionally. It just kind of happened. We just kept adding meals, both when we were shopping and planning and when we were making. Yeah. Anyway,
how that happens.
So we have 150 meals done.
Yay!
So yeah, that's like 75 each. Is that the right math?
Yeah, we're bad at math at this point. Our brains are mushy.
Yeah, we're really tired, but we will be glad to have all this in a few days.
Show them your freezer.
Okay, I'm taking you on a tour. So we still obviously have to clean the kitchen. You can see behind me, it's really bad. But this is the finished freezer. Yay. And I'll show you the other one. And of course, Christy has half the meals at her place. So let me see. In here, we have, we took some meals to my mother-in-law, just a few of those, like individual ones. But, so I've got some more for my dad up there. And then some more for him down here. And I've got like a bag of meatballs for him and stuff. And then some of the stuff is like breakfasts and snacks from before. But some of it's from today. So that is where we're at. Let me go back to where Christy is. So thank you for joining us on this epic freezer meal adventure. And oh yeah, subscribe if you haven't subscribed already, or if you like freezer meals, or just, you know, like to watch us make freezer meals.
And share the video.
Yes, oh yeah, do that. We are just deliriously tired, so yes. And oh, that rigatoni that we had for lunch.
Killer.
Yeah.
So good.
Amazing. So good. Thank you, Candy, for that recipe. And that's it. Happy cooking.
Take care.